Nehemiah chapter 1. The words of Nehemiah son of Hakaliah. In the month of Kislev, in the 20th year, while I was in the citadel of Suha, Hanani, one of my brothers, came from Judah with other men, and I questioned them about Jewish remnant that had survived the exile, and also about Jerusalem. They said to me, "Those who survived the exile are back in the provinces and in great trouble and disgrace. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down, and its gates has been burned with fire." While I heard these things, I sat down and wept. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. Then I said, "Lord, the God of heaven, the great and awesome, God who keeps his covenant of people with those who love him and keeps his commandment. Let your ears be attentive and your eyes open to hear the prayers your servant is praying before you day and night for your servant, the people of Israel. I confess the sins we Israelites, including myself and my father's family, has committed against you. We have acted very wickedly towards you. We have not obeyed your commands, decreed, and laws you gave your servant Moses. Remember the instructions you gave your servant Moses, saying, 'If you are unfaithful, I will scatter you among the nations. But if you return to me and obey my commands, then, even if your exiled people are at the farthest horizon, I will gather them from there and bring them to the place where I have chosen as dwelling for my name. There are your servants and your people, whom you redeem by your great strength and your mighty hands. Lord, let your ears be attentive to the prayers of this servant and to the prayers of your servant who delight in revering your name. Give your servant success today by granting him favor in the presence of this man." I was cupbearer to the king. Nehemiah chapter 2. In the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, when wine was brought to him, I took the wine and gave it to the king. I had not been sad in his presence before. So the king asked me, "Why does your face look so sad when you are not ill? This can be nothing but sadness of heart." I was very much afraid, but I said to the king, May the king live forever. Why should my face look sad when the city where my ancestors are buried lies in ruins, and its gates has been destroyed by fire? The king said to me, "What is that you want?" Then I prayed to the God of heaven, and I answered the king, "If it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in his sight, let him send me to the city of Judah where my ancestors are buried, so that I can rebuild it." Then the king, with the queen sat beside him, asked me, "How long will your journey take, and when will you get back?" It pleased the king to send me, so I set a time. I also said to him, "If it pleases the king, may I have letters to the governors of Trans-Euphrates, so that they will provide me safe conduct until I arrive in Judah. And may I have letters to Asaph, keeper of royal park, so he will give me timber to make beams for the gate of the citadel by the temple and for the city wall and for the residence I will occupy." And because the generous hands of the God was on me, the king granted my request. So I went to the governors of Trans-Euphrates and gave them the king's letters. And the king had also sent me army officers and cavalry with me. When Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the Ammonite officers heard about this, they were very much disturbed that someone had come to promote the welfare of Israel. I went to Jerusalem, and after staying there 3 days, I sat out during the night with a few others. I had not told anyone what my God had put in my heart to do for Jerusalem. There were no mounts for me except the one I was riding on. By night I went out through the valley gates towards Jackal, Well, and Dung Gate, explaining the wells of Jerusalem which had been broken down, and its gates, which have been destroyed by fire. Then I moved on towards Fountain Gates and the King's Pool. There were not enough rooms for the mount to get through. So I went up the valleys by night, explaining the walls. Finally, I turned back and re entered through the valley gates. The officers did not know where I was gone or what I was doing, because yet I had said nothing to the Jews or to the priest or nobles or officers or anyone who would be doing the work. Then I said to them, You see the trouble we are in. Jerusalem lies in ruins, and its gates has been burned with fire. Come, let us rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. We will no longer be in disgrace. I also told them about the gracious hands of my God on me and what the king had said to me. They replied, Let us start rebuilding. So they began this good work. But when Sabbathel the Horonite, Tohiah the Ammonite officers, and Kesham the Arab heard about it, they mocked and ridiculed us. What is this you are doing? They asked. Are you rebelling against the king? I answered them by saying, The God of heavens will give us success. We, his servant, will start rebuilding, but as for you, you have no share in Jerusalem or any claim or historic right to it.
Nehemiah chapter 3. Builders of the wall. Eliashib the high priest and his fellow priests went to work and rebuilt the sheep gate. They dedicated it and set its doors in place, building as far as the Tower of the 100, which they dedicated, and as far as the Tower of Hanael. The men of Jericho built the adjoining section, and Zakur son of Imri built next to them. The fish gate was built by the sons of Hasniah. They laid its beams and put its doors and bolts and bars in place. Merimoth son of Uri, the son of Hakos, repaired the next section. Next to him, Meshullam son of Berechiah, the son of Mezabel, made repairs, and next to him, Zadok son of Mana also made repairs. The next section was repaired by the men of Tekoa, but their nobles would not put their shoulders to the work under their supervisors. The Jeshanah gate was repaired by Judea son of Paseah and Meshullam son of Besodiah. They laid its beams and put its doors with their bolts and bars in place. Next to them, repairs were made by men from Gibeon and Mizpah, Melathiah and Gibeon, and Jadon of Meronoth, places under the authority of the governor of Trans-Euphrates. Uzziel son of Hariah, one of the goldsmiths, repaired the next section, and Hananiah son of one of the perfume makers made repairs next to that. They restored Jerusalem as far as the broad wall. Raphael son of Hur, ruler of half district of Jerusalem, repaired the next section. Adjoining this, Jediah son of Harumaph made repairs opposite his house, and Hattush son of Hashabniah made repairs next to him. Melchijah son of Harim and Hasub son of Bahamoth Moab repaired another section and the tower of the ovens. Shallum son of Halohesh, ruler of half district of Jerusalem, repaired the next section with the help of his daughters. The valley gate was repaired by Hanun and the residents of Zanoah. They rebuilt it and put its doors with their bolts and bars in place. They also repaired 1,000 cubits of the wall as far as the dung gate. The dung gate was repaired by Malikiah, son of Rekab, ruler of the district of Beth Hakerem. He rebuilt it and put its doors with their bolts and bars in place. The fountain gate was repaired by Shallum son of Kolhohez, ruler of the district of Mizpah. He rebuilt it, roofing it over and putting its doors and bolts and bars in place. He also repaired the wall of the pool of Siloam by the king's garden as far as the steps going down from the city of David. Beyond him, Nehemiah son of Azbuk, ruler of the half district of Beth Zor, made repairs up to point opposite the tombs of David, as far as the artificial pool and the house of heroes. Next to him the repairs were made by the Levites under the Rehum son of Bani. Beside him, Hashabiah, ruler of half the district of Keilah, carried out repairs for his district. Next to him, the repairs were made by the neighbors under Binu, son of Henadad, ruler of the other half district of Keilah. Next to him, Ezer, son of Jerusha, ruler of Mizpah, repaired another section from the point facing the ascent to armory as far as the angle of the wall. Next to him, Baruch, son of Zabbai, zealously repaired in another section from the angle to entrance of those of Eliashib the high priest. Next to him, Merimoth, son of Uri, the son of Hakoz, repaired another section from the entrance of Eliashib's house to the end of it. The repairs next to him were made by the priests from the surrounding region. Beyond them, Benjamin and Hasub made repairs in front of their houses, and next to them, Azariah, son of Maaseiah, the son of Ananiah, made repairs beside this house. Next to him, Beninu, son of Henadad, repaired another section from Azariah's house to the angle and the corner. And Palal, son of Uzai, worked opposite the angle and the tower projecting from the upper palace, near the court of the god. Next to him, Padaiah, son of Parosh, and the temple servants living on the hill of Olphe made repairs up to a point opposite the water gate towards the east and projecting tower. Next to them, the men of Tekoa repaired another section from the great projecting tower to the wall of Ophel. Above the horse gate, the priests made repairs, each in front of his own house. Next to them, Zadok, son of Immer, made repairs opposite his house. Next to him, Shemaiah, son of Shechaniah, the guard at the east gate, made repairs. Next to him, Hananiah, son of Shelemiah, and Hanun, the sixth son of Zalaph, repaired another section next to them. Meshullam, son of Bechiah, made repairs opposite his living quarters. Next to him, Malkijah, one of the goldsmiths, made repairs as far as the house of the temple servants and the merchants opposite the inspection gate, and as far as the room above the corner, and between the room above the corner and the sheep gate, the goldsmiths and merchants made repairs.